hard work, go to the website, go through all the information you have. Number 4 biggest mistake you should avoid is belittle your competition. AIESEC fortunately does not have a lot of competition. I don't think it has any competition. In my mind, the competition is Naukri.com, and I'll explain to you why when we come to exchange program. But when we do sales, I would never belittle competition. If the client was to ask, why should we do business with CueBlocks or why should we do business with AIESEC? Why don't we do business with RoadTrack? You would be the biggest fool if you were to say, RoadTrack? Oh, that organization, have you heard about them? Their chief executive was in jail last year, or they're in so much trouble. A lot of these are, cooked questions. They are asked just because they want to check your integrity, right? If somebody was to ask me why should we do business with CueBlocks as compared to these other companies that are there, I'd say I honestly don't know. I can't talk intelligently about what they have to offer, but I can tell you why you should do business with us. Alright? He will respect me for my integrity, and I have not stooped to the level of belittling competition. A lot of times, experienced executives will ask you this question just to check your level of integrity. Or sometimes they will just ask to get information. Even if you know something bad about that organization, please don't say it. Another big mistake is poor body language. I made this mistake, first appointment, second floor of the office, and I was late, almost late. I walked up, came running up, and sweaty palms slightly, and the person I was supposed to meet, I just met him straight there, face to face, and I was panting, and AIESEC, I'm from Pancham from AIESEC, and it was not a very good kind of impression. You probably want to reach 5 minutes in advance, just get settled into that place, get a feel if this is the first time you're going there, get some water, get your facts right, calm down, breathe, be ready for it. It's an important appointment, and then just go for it. Don't rush into it, alright? Again, body language is also when the way you sit for the appointment, right? Don't sit like this, don't have your face covered, the basic stuff, right? Make sure that you have very open, your hands are open, you're smiling, you're not tense. All those things are very, very important. Very, very basic stuff. You can read this in books, but it's very, very important. Right? Please don't talk too much. Another big mistake. All AIESEC is making, especially new recruits. Enthusiastic, Oh, I have these 20 points to talk about. I have to rattle them off in the first 2 minutes. Alright. Talk little. You of course have to initiate the conversation, give them a few important points, but at the same time start asking open-ended questions as well. Alright. After about 2 minutes into the conversation, saying that, sir, I went through your website. It seems like you opened up an office in Sweden. Sweden is great. Like, what are your plans? I'm really interested to know, because we have a lot of people from Sweden who come to Chandigarh as well. The guy will be very happy. All people like to talk about themselves, especially their business. More or less, if you don't ask them tricky questions, they would want to share a little bit more about it. Ask them open-ended questions. They'll be very happy to share that with you. But don't be too cocky about it as well. Don't ask them, sir, when is your wedding anniversary? Don't do that in the first thing. You have to know where to draw a line. Right. Another thing, don't overpromise. Please don't tell them that the exchange or training will be available in another 2 months. You can't guarantee that. Be open in saying that on an average you take about 6 to 8 months for getting interns. I cannot promise you a particular date, but we will try our best to make sure, and we'll keep you updated that as and when there are interns available, right? And if you get rejection, please don't take it personally. Alright? Please don't go back home and saying that sales is the worst thing ever in my life. I'm never going to do it. Right?
When you're going for appointment, should not be over-promising.
Absolutely. That's a true thing for that's true for everything that you're doing, right? Just make sure that you're under-promising and over. One of the biggest goals of AIESEC, poor servicing. Alright? We'll talk about it in more detail. It has changed a lot, and I must say in my last 9 years, this is the 1 year where I've seen probably the best servicing ever. Alright? Still, there is always scope of improvement, but I was pretty happy with that. And last thing, and I'm going to show you a video for that after this. There's no passion. Where is that passion? Where is that love? Where is that enthusiasm where you feel like, oh man, I'm going on an AIESEC internship appointment, or this is the first time, or the second time, or the 100th time I'm going. Am I ready for it? I'm going to make this really, really good. Alright? We're going to have a lot of fun. Even if he says, no, what the hell, it's going to be a useful interaction. He'll learn something from me, hopefully. I'm sure I'll learn a lot from him. Right? Use that, have that positive bent of mind, go there with a lot of passion, understand your product and your service, be well prepared, show them stats, and then you'll come out, whatever the outcome, you've given it a good shot. And you'll be happy, but passion is very, very important. Any sort of questions so far on this, on passion?
My name is Evan. Actually, there's a question like, do you escape questions in an appointment?
Lovely.
There are questions which there are no answers to, or you're not ready for that question. So how do you escape those?
Beautiful. The wrong word is escape. You never escape a question. You tell honestly, I'll find out about it and I'll get back to you. I don't think I know all the facts to talk intelligently about it, but I'll get back to you. Have you guys seen the Pursuit of Happiness? Right? When this guy was asked that question, he said, I don't know about this. And that's a perfect example of Jerry Maguire and Pursuit of Happiness are two movies that I right up there in terms of selling. Jerry Maguire in the beginning of the part where he was just selling, he was just bullshitting, using all that talk and charm and everything, selling, but he realized it was going on. He said, personal attention. Let me give my 100% personal attention to this guy and everything will be fine. So you never escape a question. If there is a question somebody was to ask, try and answer that honestly. And it always boils down from you being a good person. If you're a good person and you're honest inside, there will be nothing to hide. If somebody they was to say that, you know what, I read about AIESEC that last month you guys were in the papers because 5 of your interns were caught in some kind of a jam and they were in police or they were in jail for whatever reasons. If they were to ask you something like that as a stupid question which you're uncomfortable with, then you can, probably what I would answer right now, what comes to my mind right now is that, yes sir, that was very unfortunate that happened. I don't know the exact reasons why it happened, but it was one of the exceptions. I think we've been here for last about 48, right? So 62 years, and in Chandigarh since 1988, we haven't had any situation like that. So it was an exception, but so you'll be honest, right? And people appreciate honesty. They can see people who are trying to bullshit them. Right? And don't treat them as fools if you're trying to give them some good answer. Oh sir, the media guy, you know what, that guy, they didn't like AIESEC because we did not recruit his brother-in-law in AIESEC. So he's trying to get even with us because we didn't do that. You look like a fool. Then, but if you say that, I don't know what the reasons were. And if they've done something wrong, I think they should be, it should have happened. But it's a big organization. So sometimes we end up having, but our track record has been really flawless. Alright? Okie dokie. Answer. Yes, please.
Basically, whatever you said right now, basically, maybe it's the last thing only that you should be genuine. Your genuinity should be for your organization, whatever you do.
Absolutely. I'll just give you a very, very quick pointer. You guys are very young. You what age? 18, 22, 18, 20, 17 to 18. 18 is the general age, right? Please do not make heroes of people in your life who become really, really powerful, wealthy, and happy by doing the wrong things, because you are not going to be there 5 years down the line when these guys are really reaping the rewards of all the bad things they have done. Right? We look at, oh, Dawood Ibrahim, what a guy, man. He owns Mumbai. Poor guy can't even come back to India. How do you know how he sleeps at night? Alright? You're only looking at the fact that he's powerful, he can shoot anybody. That feels like, oh, really good. I wish I was like that mafia guy. You don't know how he sleeps. Do you think he has the peace of mind? Right? So do not make heroes of things and companies who've been able to fool the system and become strong, because you're not there when they fall. Alright? Yes, please.
I had a question from something that you said before. You were talking about one of your first appointments as an AIESEC member, and you said, oh, I had an appointment with the HR director and I was really happy because it was the right person to go.
Yeah.
I'm actually now working with a training company.
Right.
And our policy in the company is that we try to meet only with CEO or managing director of the company, because at the end point, the HR manager will be very nice and listen to you, but it doesn't take the final decision. The CEO does. So, do you think that even in AIESEC, should we aim for HR manager? Should we aim to CEO? Should we still need the HR manager if you have a commitment?
Thank you for asking this question. You do 3-4 things. Number one, you make the first appointment, which is called the pre-sales appointment, where you do not meet the HR, you meet somebody who is an executive in the HR, not the HR head, because your job at that time is to make sure you're doing enough research about that company. You will have probably 15-20 questions to ask. Please do not rattle off by asking them questions one by one. Try and have it like a conversation. If you have a tape recorder, take permission from him that can you tape the answers. Chances are they might say no, but at least remember it. Right? So first appointment is always with an executive, because you want to, that's the right way to do it. You just do not read the website and go in for an appointment. You do your due diligence after reading the website, after talking to all senior AIESEC members, that did we work with that company before, what was the history. Then you make an appointment right now, because probably AIESEC dealt with that company 2 years back, and today the ground scenario is very different. So the first is the pre-sales appointment. Once you got that right, then you think, let me meet the HR, right? Because I need to meet the HR head, because I would get a sense of what the requirements are, right? So you do that, and the eventual thing, if the CEO agrees, is what you would request an appointment and a presentation time with the CEO or the managing director along with the HR as a final thing. So you build yourself up, and this is not the case. I'm not saying this is how you sell all the time and this is how it is ideally done. I've a lot of times sold just by speaking with the HR manager himself, because he had that kind of because the CEO was traveling and he had that kind of autonomy to take decisions. Right? So it will keep on varying. But you're right, a lot of decisions are taken together. The HR guy can't do it on his own. That's why when you presented all the facts, you've given them the brochure, you've given them case studies of companies which are similar, who have taken interns in Bangalore, in AIESEC in Bangalore, and those are good names, and you attach that with your brochure and leave it with them, the chances are that you will definitely get internships raised. And one of the things I wanted to cover was how easy it is to sell AIESEC exchange, in my mind, because I've been out of AIESEC and I've done sales out of, because in AIESEC there's no competition in a way, right? The services we're selling is really very reasonable. We've sold, just to give you an example, if you go to sell a website, the client was to sell in India, basic website, it will be for 20,000 rupees or maybe more now, depending on the complexity, and the client will have choice of speaking to 30 or 40 people. Alright, and he might come and say that, you know what, CueBlocks is charging me 20,000 rupees, but that guy is giving me for 15. I don't think AIESEC faces that. AIESEC never faces that, right? They don't say that, oh, that other organization which is doing similar like AIESEC, they are offering me for much lesser cost. So I'll talk in more detail, because that will make you more aware about the strengths of AIESEC, and it will make you more aware of how you can actually effectively sell the exchange program and even projects and everything. Yes, please, before we go to the video.
One sir, just want to ask one question. That is, Manoj just mentioned that we need to be really genuine and we need to believe in our product like perfectly, right? But what I think is, sir, if we are genuine, like that's not the case in what we do in our selling. We be genuine. But what happens is, if somebody I'm genuine to you, I tell you that this will happen to your life, this will happen to you, this is what will you learn on your internship. But if a person he doesn't have a really good experience there, when he comes it really ruins the branding and everything. So so he thinks that we are not a genuine organization. We promise few things and he never got that. So how do you do those things?
You know, that's a typical thing with all organizations which sell services, even products. Do you think iPhone 4 when it came out did not receive a lot of flack? Did you read on TechCrunch and all what happened with their antenna and all that? Yeah. Right? All organizations do that. You know, there are situations that happen. It's how you do damage control.